every programmer is going to run into a situation where it's necessary to compile code by hand. You're going to do this using the command line. In this video, we're going to write some Java code in a text editor and then compile it purely using the command line. We're going to start by creating a new file here in Komodo, which is my text editor. I'm going to click File, New, and New File. So here we've got a blank text document. I'm going to first save the text document before I do anything else. So I'm clicking File and Save As. And I'm going to save it in a folder on the desktop that I've just created called Java Programs. Now I'm going to save it as welcome.java. That name is meaningful because all Java source files have to end with the .java extension, and the name of the file has to be the same as the name of the class you're going to write. So here I'm going to write a class called welcome, and .java is just because it's a Java source file. I'm going to save it, and let's go ahead and declare our class right away. Public class welcome. So you can see there I use the name for the file, so this welcome here matches the name. So the class is a container for code. It's an organizational unit for code. And within the class, I've got to have at least one method or function that actually makes something happen. So Java programs start executing at a function called main. Let's declare that. Public static void main. And then we have this array of string arguments. The code for the actual main method is contained in curly brackets, just like the code for the class is contained in curly brackets. So what this means essentially is that this particular method is public. It's static because it's called from within the class. It's void because it returns nothing. It's called main because we're compelled to call it main because it's the class, or the method rather, in which the code starts executing. And it can take an array of string arguments. We're actually not going to use the array of string arguments today. However, it's capable of taking that. So now within the main method, I'm going to choose system out println welcome to my Java class. We'll do another statement here. System out println. If it's nice, out, take a break, and stop programming. So essentially, this is the structure of a Java statement. We're accessing the system class, and we're using the out.println method, and that simply outputs to the command line. So we're outputting the string welcome to my Java class, and then if it's nice out, take a break and stop programming. So here we have a complete Java program. I'm going to save it, and then I'm going to open my command line, and I'm going to actually compile the programming using the Java-C compiler, and then I'm going to run it using the Java virtual machine. What the Java-C compiler is going to do is it's going to compile this code that you see into something called Java bytecode. That Java bytecode will then be executed by the Java virtual machine. It interprets the bytecode. So we should already be pointed to our Java Programs folder. And here we are. We're in Users, Mark Lassoff, Desktop Java Programs. So right in this folder right here. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to compile the welcome.java file. So I'm going to call Java-C for the Java compiler and then welcome.java. That's going to take just a moment to compile. And once I do, you'll notice now I have in this directory a file called welcome.class and welcome.java. Now it's interesting here if we take a look, bring this up here. There's our welcome.java file. And you'll notice it's 221 bytes. The welcome.class folder is 503 bytes. And that's because the compiled Java bytecode adds a bunch of material that you can't see here to execute the program. So now to execute it here in the command line, we're going to execute the .class file. That's the compiled Java class. So we're going to use the Java virtual machine. which you just call with Java, and then we're going to call the class name welcome. We don't use the .class addition. And there you can see, welcome to my Java class, and if it's nice out, take a break and stop programming. So it's executed the code inside the main method, inside our welcome class, using the Java virtual machine.